Hello friends, welcome to Embed Idea. Myself Tirthankar and you are watching 8051 course for beginners. So this is lesson 6 and in this lesson I'll discuss the cycle concepts of 8051 and how timers work, different timer registers and their description. I'll also show you the time delay calculations with example, and then I'll perform one LED blinking operation with exact 1 second time delay which will be generated by the timer itself. So let's see the timing cycles first. You have to know that there are two cycles in 8051. One is called machine cycle. What is machine cycle? Machine cycle is the minimum time to execute an instruction, and this is given by the manufacturer that the machine cycle in 8051 requires 12 clock pulses. So whatever clock frequency we are giving, that is important if we want to calculate the timing of a machine cycle. Then what is instruction cycle? Instruction cycle is the total time to execute an instruction, and instruction cycle can have multiple machine cycles. This is a fact. So you have to remember these two timing and it will be required later on. So how timers work? Let me show you the timer work process. Timer is a register and the default value of the register is 0, and when timer is started it simply increments, and the 0 will be incremented step by step. Like say there is a timer register of 4-bit. Let me show you that, then you will understand. Suppose this is the sample timer. It is a 4-bit storage and all the values are 0. All the bits, I'm talking about bits. So all the bits are 0. When the timer is started, it will simply increment to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 until it reaches its max value. And what is the max value? Max value is the 4-1. So whenever it will reach 4-1, it will again come back to 0, and that thing is known as timer reload. So this is how a timer works, and there are 4 registers in 8051. One is timer mode, TMOD. Another is timer control. TMOD is used to set the mode of a timer, and TCON is used to control the timers. Apart from these two settings, or you can say configuration registers, there are 2 more registers, two 16-bit registers denoted as T0 and T1. T0 can be denoted as TH0, which contains the higher order byte of timer 0, and TL0, which contains the lower order byte of timer 1. Similarly, T1 has TH1 and TL1. So this TH1 is of 8-bit and TL1 is also of 8-bit. I have denoted the timer in general as TX, and there is THX, which contains the higher order byte, and TLX, which contains the lower order byte. So let's talk about T mode. Timer mode is the register which is used to select the timer mode. Look at the register. This is a 8-bit register. So 4 bits which are marked in orange color is used to set the mode of timer 0, and the green color portion is used to set the mode of timer 1. Both the segments have similar bits. So if you know how to control or how to set the timer 0, you can easily set the same for timer 1. Let me start with M1 M0. So when M1 is 0 and M0 is 0, the timer is set at 13-bit. So 13-bit mode involves that the timer will count up to 2 to the power 13, that is 8192. So this process involves 8192 steps to reach the timer to its max value. When M1 is 0 and M0 is 1, the timer is set at 16-bit mode. So in 16-bit, the step size will be 2 to the power 16. Then the timer will need 65,536 steps to reach its max value. Then when M1 is 1 and M0 is 0, that mode is known as 8-bit auto reload. This is something different. Look at this. In 8-bit auto reload, I have told you that each timer has two registers. One is THX and another is TLX. So in 8-bit auto reload, the TH portion, like the higher order byte portion, will hold a certain value, and the lower order portion will be initialized with that value, and it will count up to its maximum value. Let me give you an example. THX is of 8-bit, TLX is of 8-bit. So the maximum value for TLX will be 2 to the power 8, that is around 256, and when we are counting from 0, it will reach 255. That will be the max value. So if the timer is set at auto reload mode, and if I store 250 in THX, let's say we are talking about timer 0. So if TH0 is equal to 250 and timer is set at auto reload mode, only TL0 will count. So it will count like 250, 251, 252, 253, 4, 5. Then again it will come back to 250, because we have changed the reload value. In normal operation, the timer comes to 0, but here we are changing the reload value. And what is the reload value? That is 250, which is stored inside TH0. So I think you have understood this mode. Then let's go to the split timer mode. In split timer, instead of having two 16-bit timers, we will have 4 8-bit timers. So if split timer mode is set for timer 0, then TH0 will act as an independent timer and TL0 will act as an independent timer. So there will be two 8-bit timers. Simply this is the same for timer 1. Then let's talk about this bit, gate 1. Gate 1 enables the external access for timer. So when it is 0, external access is disabled. When it is 1, external access will be enabled. And when external access will be enabled, look at the pin diagram. Along with the timer start operation, you have to give a pulse to pin number 12 for timer 0 and 13 for timer 1. Otherwise, the timer will not start. So for some application, you may need this kind of feature. And another is counter timer. So this is C/T1 for timer 1 and C/T0 for timer 0. By default, timer follows the crystal frequency we have attached with the microcontroller. If this bit is set, then the timer will work as counter, and then it will follow the frequency given at pin number 14 for timer 0 and 15 for timer 1. In default operation or normal operation, we don't need this kind of counter. It may be required in some applications. So I think you have understood the functionalities of TMOD register. Now let's take you to TCON register. We need only 4 bits of TCON register, and the bits are bit number 4, 5, 6, 7. That means the upper nibble. So this TR0, if this bit is set, timer 0 will start counting. Similarly, TR1, if this bit is set, then timer 1 will start counting. When timer will reach its max value, this TF0 bit will automatically be 1. We have to read it. When timer 1 reaches its max value, then TF1, this bit will automatically be 1. And we have to read that value. We have to incorporate a manual operation to reset that value, because 8051 hardware does not reset the value automatically. So we have to manually, or you can say in program, we have to reset this bit. So this is the operation for TCON register. Now let me tell you the normal timer process. So whenever we'll do the programming, we have to do all these steps. First, we need to select the timer mode, and we have to load a value in timer mode register. Then we have to set the corresponding TRX bit. Like if we are using timer 0, we have to set TR0 to start the timer. Then we have to wait for TF. If we have selected TR0, then we have to wait for TF0 to be set. When TF0 is set, that means the timer has finished counting. Then we can reset TF0 and TR0 and stop the timer. This is the normal timer process. So this thing is very important. Now this is the calculation of how we can generate a 1 second delay using a timer, and given the crystal frequency is 12 megahertz. Now at the first of this lesson, I have told you that in 8051 12 clock pulses are required for one machine cycle. So one clock pulse time is 1 by frequency, that is 1 by 12, and this is 12 megahertz, so it will be microsecond. So 1 by 12 microsecond. Then one machine cycle time is 12 clock pulse. So 12 into 1 by 12 is equal to 1 microsecond. So one machine cycle timing is 1 microsecond, and timer takes one machine cycle for increment. So if we set the timer in 16-bit mode, the step size will be 65,536. So timer time takes for one iteration by any timer will be 65,536 into 1 microsecond, and we can write 65.536 millisecond. So how many iterations we need for 1 second? So 1 second is equivalent to 1000 millisecond. So 1000 millisecond divided by 65.536 millisecond, around 15 iterations needed by a timer to generate 1 second delay. So 15 times, if the timer counts from min value to max value, then 1 second delay can be generated. Let me show you it in the program. So here I have opened code blocks. Now I'll start a new project, and my project will be MCS51 project. Then I have showed you all these steps. My project title will be timer 1 sec, and it is saved in documents, embed idea and codes. So everything is fine. Then next. So already my source file is generated. This is the header file we use while programming embedded C programs for 8051. So here what I'll do is I'll use one LED at port 1.1. So I have defined one macro. Now the program will be very simple. I'll not use any like variable or something like that. What I'll do is I'll first initialize the LED as 0. By this line, I'm configuring the particular pin as output. Now what I'll do is I'll write tmod 0 cross 01. 0 cross 01 means timer 0 is set at 16-bit mode, and we are not using timer 0. So when tmod is set, then I don't think we need anything. So here in while 1, what I'll do is I'll write LED equal to 1. So LED will glow. Then I'll write delay 1, that means 1 second delay. Then again LED equal to 0, then delay 1. Delay 1 is a function. Now I'll create that function, that is void delay 1. This is here. I'll first define a variable int I. for I equal to 0, I less than equal to 14. Now remember the iteration, the number of iteration was 15. So I have created a 15 times loop. So here what I'll do is I'll write while tf0 equal to 0. So the processor will wait here until tf0 becomes 1, and when tf0 will become 1, when the timer will finish the counting process. So when it becomes 1, I'll make it 0 again, so that, and here tr0 will be 1, and at last tr0 will be 0. Now let me show you the process what I have done here. First I have initialized a variable int I, then I have started the timer. Now look at here, LED is 1 and delay 1 is called, and when delay 1 is called, I is initialized, then tr0 is 1, that means timer 0 has started counting. Then for 0 to 14, that means 15 times I plus plus, what will happen? The processor will wait here until tf0 becomes 1. tf0 will become 1 after one iteration. Then I'll reset tf0, again the process will go. Now second iteration, third iteration, fourth iteration, and up to 15 iteration. After 15 iterations, it will come out of this for loop, and then I'll stop the timer and I'll return back. So this is my program. This is a simple program. I have already initialized tmod register, and for tcon register I have used the bits tr0 equal to 1 to start the timer, and LED is 1, 0. This is the blinking program. Now let me save it and build. Yeah, warning is there. Why? Because I have not declared the prototype of delay 1. So here what I'll do is I'll declare the prototype delay 1 within bracket void. So this is the prototype. I'll save it again and build. So 0 error, 0 warning. Now hex file has generated. So I'll go to Proteus. So this is my circuit. What I'll do is I'll add 89C51 and I'll add one more part, that is LED active yellow. Here LED yellow will be connected at port 1.1. Here I have connected the ground. Double click on it. The clock frequency is 12 MHz. Now let me locate the hex file. So embed idea, codes, inside button, timer 1 second, bin, debug, timer 1 second, hex file. Okay, finished. Let me zoom the LED view. Let's play. See, the LED is blinking. Now look at this LED and focus here. 8 LED on, 9 LED off, 10 LED on, 11 LED off, 12 LED on, 13 LED off. Exact 1 second. So overall my experiment is successful. The code details are given in the description box. You can download the codes and the circuits. I hope you have understood the timer. If you have any queries, then let me know in the comments section. And in the next lesson, I'll discuss 8051 UART programming. If you like this video, then like it and share it with your friends. And don't forget to subscribe to Embed Idea because more lessons are coming soon. Thanks for watching.